child, stop right where you are. Do not scroll past this. Do not let the infinite distractions of this chaotic, noisy world pull your eyes away from this screen for even a single second. I have an urgent, deeply time-sensitive, and profoundly personal message for you, directly from the divine realms. The absolute, undeniable truth is that the fact you have landed on this exact frequency at this precise moment in time is not a coincidence. It is not an accident of fate. It is not some random twist of a digital algorithm. It is a divine, highly calculated, and deeply intentional interception by the Creator of the universe. I have stepped directly into your path today, interrupting your scrolling, because there is something you urgently need to hear. There is something you must deeply, profoundly understand about the relentless, exhausting battle you have been fighting in the dark. I saw you recently. The angels saw you. I saw you staring at that glowing screen, staring at that terrifyingly high unpaid bill, staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. while the rest of the world peacefully slept, wondering how all of this was ever going to work out. I saw the suffocating heaviness in your chest. I felt the deep, bone-crushing exhaustion in your spirit, a weariness that a simple night's sleep cannot possibly cure. I saw the silent, heavy tears you let fall when you thought absolutely no one else was looking. The tears that happen in the shower, so the sound of the rushing water drowns out your crying, so nobody in the house can hear your secret, agonizing pain. You have been looking up at the sky, your heart breaking, asking God, "When is it my turn? When does this endless, grinding struggle finally stop? When do I finally get to take a full breath without feeling like the other shoe is going to drop at any second? When does the blessing you promised actually reach my front door?" Listen to my voice very carefully and let these words penetrate deep into your spirit. The enemy wants you to believe that you are losing. The kingdom of darkness desperately wants you to look at your current temporary circumstances and conclude that heaven has forgotten about you, that your fervent, desperate prayers are just bouncing off the ceiling, that you are somehow being punished for your past, or that you have completely missed your window of destiny. But I have been dispatched from the highest throne room with a message of absolute, unshakable, unbreakable truth. You finally did it. You finally did the very thing God has been waiting for, and heaven is absolutely impressed by your faith. The weapon you carry is not of this world, and the war you think you are losing is actually the very setup, the precise foundation for your greatest, most unprecedented, and historic victory. Do not click away. Do not let the enemy distract you from this moment of ultimate deliverance. In the next few minutes, I am going to reveal exactly what it is that you did to impress God so deeply. Why you have been placed under such uniquely heavy, targeted spiritual attack, and how a massive divine reversal is already actively in motion in your life right this very second. At the end of this sacred broadcast, I am going to lead you through a massive, powerful, chain-breaking prayer of sealing. A prayer that will legally activate divine protection over your finances, your mind, your physical health, your relationships, and your entire family line. If you skip ahead, if you rush this delicate spiritual process, you will miss the energetic key that unlocks this massive transition. You cannot rush the divine timing. If you are truly ready to receive this divine intervention, I need you to make a physical micro-commitment right now to anchor this spiritual truth into the natural realm. Click the like button, subscribe to this channel, and align your physical energy with this highly charged spiritual space. By doing this simple action, you are legally telling the universe, I am awake. I am ready. My hands are open, and my spirit is prepared for my total breakthrough. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale slowly. Hold it. Now, release it completely. Feel the heavy tension leaving your shoulders. Let us begin. I know you are tired. I know the spiritual exhaustion has settled so deeply into your bones that physical sleep doesn't even feel like rest anymore. You wake up feeling like you fought a grueling, bloody war all night long. And the undeniable truth is, in the spirit realm, you absolutely did. You are a chosen one. And because of that high, sacred calling, your life has never, ever looked like everyone else's. You have always felt profoundly different. From the time you were a small child, you knew you did not quite fit in. You were the black sheep. You were the sensitive one. You were the one who felt the energy of the room shift when someone walked in. I know the heavy chest. I know the feeling of waking up with a sickening sense of dread, wondering what new crisis the day will bring. I know you have poured your heart out to people who could not comprehend your depth. I know you have loved purely, deeply, and unconditionally, only to be met with conditional affection and transactional relationships. I know about the bitter, stinging betrayal. I know about the people who walked away when you needed them most. The very people you would have fiercely taken a bullet for, who abandoned you at your absolute lowest point. I know about the times you gave your last dollar, your last ounce of physical energy, your last drop of pure love, only to be left completely empty-handed, deliberately misunderstood, deeply taken for granted, and casually discarded. I know. I have seen every single moment of your silent suffering. But right now, the atmosphere in the room you are sitting in is shifting. Can you feel the temperature changing? Can you feel the subtle electricity in the air? God is actively working behind the scenes of your life in ways your physical, mortal eyes cannot yet perceive. The countless seeds you have planted in your bitter tears, the desperate prayers you have whispered in the dark when you had no physical strength left to speak aloud, they have not evaporated into nothingness. They have gathered, they have multiplied, and they have reached the high throne room of the Most High. The harvest is rapidly approaching. The seasons are violently changing in your favor. You thought those closed doors were rejections. You thought losing those connections was a harsh punishment. But the divine truth is that every closed door was a magnificent shield of protection. God was actively, aggressively blocking paths that would have eventually led to your total destruction. He was blocking toxic connections, manipulative business partners, and bad contracts that would have drained your destiny dry. You were not being punished, my child. You were being hidden. You were being carefully incubated for unparalleled greatness. And here is the revelation. You finally did what God was waiting for. When the storm was raging at its absolute worst, when you had every logical right to be bitter, when you had every right to seek revenge against those who wronged you, when you had every right to curse the sky and give up, you chose to surrender. You took your hands off the steering wheel. You stopped trying to force the doors open. You stopped trying to logically defend your pure heart to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. You stayed silent when you wanted to scream. You praised God in the absolute darkest valley of your life. That radical obedience, that terrifying surrender in the dark, is what impressed the Creator. Your faith, when you had zero physical evidence that things would get better, was the final key. The prophetic declaration over your life for this year, for 2026, is absolute vindication. The universe is actively preparing to radically balance the scales of justice completely in your favor. What was stolen from you will be returned. The reputation that was tarnished by the lies and gossip of others will be restored and polished to a blinding shine. The justice you thought you would never see is marching toward your front door right now. We are entering a season of divine acceleration. What took others 10 painful years to build, God is going to supernaturally establish for you in the coming months. A massive divine reversal is currently in motion. If you are ready to receive this profound acceleration, if you feel this truth resonating in your soul, type 1111 in the comments right now. Do not hesitate. Type 1111 to mathematically and spiritually lock in this frequency of new beginnings, divine alignment, and rapid manifestation. Let the angels see your faith in action. Let us go deeper into the Spirit. Do not skip the next 60 seconds, because the revelation is about to deepen significantly, and the enemy absolutely does not want you to hear this next part. I know the secret, paralyzing panic that grips you when you look at your finances. I know the financial pressure has been absolutely suffocating lately. I know you have been looking at the unpredictable economy, looking at your dwindling bank account, looking at the constantly rising costs of just trying to survive day to day, and feeling a terrifying, paralyzing wave of anxiety try to completely overtake your mind. You have fallen to your knees and asked, Lord, how will I provide? How will I survive this month? How will I ever dig myself out of this massive mountain of debt? Will I be struggling, scraping, and surviving like this for the rest of my natural life? I know the heavy shame that comes with financial struggle, the quiet, burning embarrassment of having to say no to things. The constant, exhausting mental math you do every single time you buy groceries, calculating every penny just to make sure the card doesn't decline. I know you have faced slammed, closed doors. You have applied for opportunities, for loans, for promotions, or for jobs that miraculously fell through at the very last agonizing minute. You have had money continuously slip through your fingers like water due to unexpected, bizarre expenses. Sudden emergencies, the car breaking down out of nowhere, the house needing urgent repairs right when you finally thought you were getting ahead. It feels like a vicious, mocking, endless cycle designed to keep you permanently broke, anxious, and broken in spirit. But I stand before you today, blazing with the light of divine truth, and say, stop looking at the temporary illusion of lack. Stop letting the chaotic, fear-based economy of this physical world dictate your internal spiritual peace. The tears you have sown over your finances have watered a massive field of blessings that is about to erupt from the soil. You impressed God by not letting poverty turn your heart cold. Even when you had nothing, you still tried to help others. Even when your own plate was empty, you prayed for the hungry. That is the true heart of a chosen one. God has been working meticulously behind the scenes to completely restructure your financial foundation. You had to learn how to deeply trust Him in the famine, so you would know exactly how to manage the extreme, overwhelming abundance of the feast that is coming. The tiny seeds of generosity you planted when you had absolutely nothing are about to produce a terrifyingly massive harvest. The long season of financial drought is officially breaking. The prophetic word for your finances in 2026 is supernatural restoration. We are crossing the threshold into a prophetic season of massive, unprecedented, historic financial reversal. The wealth of the wicked, the resources that have been hoarded by corrupt systems and deceitful people, is literally and legally being transferred to the righteous. The universe is currently realigning people, moving massive resources, shifting money, and creating rare, miraculous opportunities specifically designed to find you. You will no longer have to hustle, grind, and endlessly chase after money. Wealth, favor, and extreme abundance will aggressively, relentlessly chase you down. The vindication of your long financial suffering is here. The divine reversal of your bank account has already begun its visible manifestation. If you are sick and entirely tired of living in the exhausting vibration of survival mode, type "I receive my reversal" in the comments below. Claim it physically. Do not just listen passively. Act on it. Speak it directly into your physical environment. Type "I receive my reversal" right now and permanently seal this financial prophecy over your life. We must go even deeper. Listen to the steady sound of my voice. Let the tension leave your jaw. Unclench your teeth. Let your shoulders completely drop. You are completely safe here in this frequency. I know the profound, agonizing, spiritual warfare you have been enduring in your mind. I know the enemy has targeted your thoughts with relentless, terrifying precision. I know the dark nights where your mind races uncontrollably with worst-case scenarios, playing out every possible disaster, every possible failure, every possible rejection. I know the heavy, dark cloud of depression that tries to settle over you, making even the simplest, most basic daily tasks feel like climbing a massive mountain with a boulder tied to your back. I know the whispering, demonic lies that constantly tell you that you are not good enough, that you are a failure, that you have permanently ruined your life, that you are too old, or that it is simply too late for you to achieve your dreams. I know the intense physical and spiritual exhaustion that comes from constantly fighting off these dark, intrusive thoughts hour after hour. I know how much it deeply, profoundly hurts when your purest, most innocent intentions are twisted into something incredibly ugly by the people around you. I know the deep, agonizing, venomous sting of character assassination, especially when it is carefully orchestrated by the very family members, friends, or partners you loved, supported, and protected. I know the incredibly heavy armor you have been wearing for years, completely exhausting your sensitive nervous system, trying to desperately defend your reputation to people who do not care about the truth. People who are fiercely committed to misunderstanding you. But here is why God is so incredibly impressed with you right now. You did not let the darkness turn you into a monster. When they lied about you, you did not destroy them back, even though you had the power and the truth to do so. You let God be your vindicator. You surrendered the uncontrollable need to be right, and instead, you chose peace. Because of this profound choice, the shift has already occurred in the unseen realm. God is actively, supernaturally rewiring your mind for supreme, untouchable peace. The relentless attacks on your mind were allowed only because the enemy saw the massive, earth-shaking potential of what happens when your brilliant mind is fully aligned with the divine. The darkness viciously attacked your peace because your peace is the very weapon that will destroy the darkness. You do not need to fight these grueling mental battles alone anymore. The Creator is currently sending elite legions of warrior angels to stand guard around your mind, your bedroom, and your home. The fragile seeds of faith you clung to during your absolute darkest mental moments have grown into a massive, impenetrable fortress of spiritual protection. The closed doors of those highly toxic relationships were God physically removing the sources of your mental anguish and anxiety. The prophetic declaration over your mind and your spirit is absolute, untouchable, unbothered peace. Your vindication does not come from your own lips. You do not need to argue. You do not need to defend yourself on social media. You do not need to send that long, explanatory text message. Your vindication comes directly, forcefully, and publicly from the Most High. The massive divine reversal of your mental state is happening right now. The heavy, suffocating fog of confusion, brain fog, and depression is rapidly lifting. Clarity, brilliant, diamond-like clarity, is descending upon you. The extreme acceleration of your emotional healing will shock everyone who knew your pain. In 2026, you will walk into every room with a profound, quiet, unbothered peace that absolutely terrifies the enemy. It will confuse the demons. It will completely baffle your haters. Your peace is your ultimate superpower, and today, a brand new level of that peace is being unlocked within you. Share this video right now with 3 specific people who you know in your heart are fighting silent, agonizing mental or spiritual battles. Do not selfishly hold this massive blessing and profound revelation to yourself. Be their physical earth angel today. Send this directly to them because they desperately, urgently need to know that their weapon is not of this world either, and that God is impressed with them too. Share this to instantly multiply the blessing in your own life. Stay with me. Do not let your focus drift for even a second. We are approaching the absolute climax of this revelation, and your spirit needs to absorb every single word of this truth. I know the immense, crushing weight you carry for your entire bloodline. I know you look at your family tree and see the devastating patterns of destruction, the deeply entrenched patterns of poverty, the painful patterns of divorce and broken homes, the dark patterns of addiction, the painful patterns of chronic illness, and the complex patterns of deep, unhealed generational trauma. I know you actively feel the heavy, invisible, iron chains of generational curses trying to aggressively wrap themselves around your ankles, trying to aggressively pull you back into the dysfunction and the chaos that you have fought so incredibly hard to escape. I know the agonizing, isolating loneliness of being the only one in your entire family who actually sees the truth, the only one who is actively trying to break the toxic cycle, the only one who absolutely refuses to settle for the brokenness that was casually handed down to you as an inheritance. I know the countless nights you have cried out for your children, for your parents, for your siblings, desperately begging God to open their blinded eyes, desperately begging God to surgically heal the deep, festering wounds of your lineage. I know the profound exhaustion of being the designated cycle breaker. It physically feels like you are carrying the heavy karma, the unresolved grief, and the accumulated pain of 10 generations on your fragile shoulders. But this is the final reason God is so overwhelmingly impressed with you. You stood in the gap. You took the heavy hits so your children wouldn't have to. You absorbed the pain of the past and refused to pass it on to the future. You let the curse stop with you. Because of this historic bravery, the shift in your bloodline is monumental. the creator of the universe, has been intimately watching your struggle, and he steps forward today and says, "Enough. It is finished. The heavy lifting is officially over. The seeds of righteous defiance you bravely planted every single time you chose deep healing over comfortable dysfunction. Every single time you chose radical love over bitter anger. Every single time you chose blind faith over paralyzing fear. Those seeds have completely, irreversibly shattered the foundation of those ancient generational curses. God is actively working right now to pour out a multi-generational blessing so unbelievably large it will literally rewrite the history of your family name. The long seasons of inherited suffering are completely dead. The heavily guarded, closed doors that kept your ancestors trapped in grinding poverty and emotional pain have been obliterated by the flaming sword of divine justice. You were incubated in that incredibly difficult family dynamic, not to be destroyed by it, but to be the exact, potent antidote to it. The prophetic decree over your bloodline is complete restoration and historic, undeniable vindication. You are the designated victor. The massive divine reversal of your family's fortune begins with you today. The extreme acceleration of generational wealth, generational health, and generational peace is rushing toward your lineage like a tidal wave. In 2026, you will physically see the manifestation of massive promises that your grandparents faithfully prayed for, but tragically never saw. Today, a profound spiritual severing takes place. A permanent cutting of the final, toxic, energetic cords that tie you to the sins, the limitations, and the poverty of your past. You are stepping boldly into a brand new, golden timeline of extreme abundance, and you are taking your future descendants with you. If you are absolutely ready to break the generational curses forever, if you are truly ready to be the one who permanently changes the entire trajectory of your family tree, go to the comments right now and type, "My bloodline is blessed." Type it with fierce authority. Type, "My bloodline is blessed," and permanently seal the glorious fate of your future generations. We are entering the final, most crucial, most highly charged phase of this broadcast. The atmosphere in the room you are sitting in is intensely thick with divine, holy presence. The angels are standing at strict, unwavering attention. The invisible veil between the physical, material world and the eternal spirit realm is incredibly thin right now. It is time to legally, spiritually, and eternally seal this massive prophetic word into your reality. It is time to fully activate the invincible, holy weapon within you and secure the extreme blessings that are rapidly unfolding. I want you to stop whatever else you are doing. Put down the pen, stop scrolling on your other devices, turn off the television, block out all worldly distractions. If you are driving, please keep your eyes safely on the road, but listen with the absolute, unfathomable depth of your soul. But if you are in a safe, quiet place, I want you to physically place your right hand firmly over your heart. Press gently against your chest. Feel it beating. Boom, 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 boom. Feel the powerful, steady rhythm of life. That is not just a biological, scientific, muscular function. That heartbeat is the relentless, defiant drumbeat of a fierce, unstoppable spiritual warrior who has miraculously, impossibly, survived every single targeted, vicious attack the enemy violently threw at them. You are still breathing. You are still standing. You are still here. And because you are still here, your divine purpose is not yet complete. Breathe in deeply with me one more time. Pull the very breath, the Holy Spirit of God, deeply into the absolute bottom of your lungs. Hold it for just a second. Now release it completely, letting go of all the old, stagnant, fearful, poverty consciousness energy. Listen to the powerful, transformative words of this prayer. Let them wash over you like a warm, protective, cleansing river. Receive this deep into your spirit. Heavenly Father, Supreme Creator of the universe, Master of all dimensions, all timelines, and all realities. I come before your holy, magnificent throne today, boldly lifting up the beautiful, tired, weary, yet incredibly resilient and precious soul listening to the sound of my voice. Lord, you are the all-seeing, all-knowing one. You know exactly, down to the microscopic, cellular detail, what they have been unfairly forced to endure. You have painstakingly counted every single solitary tear that has stained their pillowcase in the dark midnight hour. You have intimately witnessed every silent, terrifying moment of panic. You know the exact, specific dollar amount they desperately, urgently need right now to break free from the heavy chains of debt. And you know the exact, profound, deep inner healing their bruised, battered, fragile heart requires to ever trust again. Today, under your supreme, unquestionable, absolute authority, I call for a massive divine intervention. Because they have impressed you with their surrender, by explicit divine permission from the high throne of grace, I ask that your elite, heavily armed legions of warrior angels physically, energetically, and spiritually surround this listener right this very second. I decree and declare a massive, blazing, impenetrable, terrifying circle of unbreakable holy fire completely around their mind, entirely around their physical body, tightly around the perimeter of their home, fiercely around their children, and fully encasing their bank accounts, investments, and finances. I speak directly to the unseen spiritual realm with the authority of the Most High, and I command every foul spirit of lack, every suffocating spirit of anxiety, every dark, heavy entity of depression, and every ancient, stubborn generational curse of poverty, sickness, failure, and struggle to break immediately. Shatter off their shoulders right now. Dissolve entirely into the blinding light. You have absolutely no legal, spiritual authority here anymore. The bloodline has been completely cleansed. The old toxic contract is null and void forever. The weapon this chosen one carries is not of this earthly, broken world. They carry the supreme, unquenchable light of the Creator, and they currently vibrate at the high, untouchable, impenetrable frequency of total, unmerited, absolute victory.
Lord of heaven's armies, I ask you right now to pour out a financial breakthrough so massive, so incredibly sudden, so completely illogical, and so beautifully unexplainable that it leaves them completely speechless, weeping heavy tears of pure joy and profound gratitude. Open the heavy, golden floodgates of heaven. Tear the roof completely off their expectations. Open massive, golden doors of opportunity that no man, no corrupt system, no jealous coworker, and no demon from hell can ever shut. Supernaturally and permanently restore their deep, bubbling, childlike joy. Restore their absolute, unshakable, profound peace of mind. Let them sleep deeply, soundly, and safely tonight, completely undisturbed by bad dreams or fearful, anxious thoughts, knowing beyond a shadow of a single lingering doubt that the brutal battle is no longer theirs to fight, but yours. Vindicate them publicly, loudly, and undeniably in the direct, humiliating presence of their enemies and those who casually doubted them. Let the extreme blessings unfolding in their life be the undeniable, historic marker of your favor. Let 2026 be the year they look back on for the rest of their natural lives and say with overwhelming, breathless awe, "That was the exact moment. That was the year when the curse finally broke. The sky opened wide, and absolutely everything in my life changed for the better." I spiritually, energetically, and legally seal their aura right now with the unbreakable seal of the Most High. I completely seal their divine, royal destiny. I permanently block, deflect, and return to sender every psychic attack, every spoken hex, every jealous evil lie, and every negative, idle word ever spoken against their life, their business, or their precious family. I declare them completely, totally protected from all harm. I declare them overwhelmingly, shockingly, abundantly prosperous. I declare them intensely, radiantly healthy in mind, body, and spirit. And above all else, I declare them profoundly, completely, and unconditionally loved by the Creator of the universe. In the mighty, invincible, holy, and matchless name of the Most High, so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. Take another incredibly deep breath. Feel the absolute, profound lightness in the room. Let the air out slowly. It is legally done in the spirit. It is finished. The old, heavy, suffocating spiritual contract of lack, pain, delay, and suffering has been permanently shredded and burned in the holy fire. Your new, victorious, golden, abundant timeline has officially, undeniably begun, and the physical evidence will begin to materialize faster than you can comprehend. You are entirely, completely safe. You are completely, lavishly provided for. You are deeply, unconditionally loved by the divine forces that govern this vast universe. Do not look back at the past. Do not mourn the people who could not come with you into this glorious new season. Keep moving forward with your head held high, your shoulders back, and your heart wide open, because your massive, overflowing, long-awaited harvest is literally waiting for you right around the very next corner. You are moments away from the absolute miracle you have been praying for. To keep your spiritual vibration at this absolute peak, to ensure you completely block out the desperate counterattacks of the confused enemy, and to continue receiving these urgent, life-saving prophetic instructions. You absolutely must watch the next video appearing on your screen right now. It contains the exact, critical, step-by-step spiritual instructions on what you must do when God is about to suddenly, radically bless you with massive wealth and unprecedented historic favor. Click it right now. Do not delay. Do not lose this high frequency. And I will meet you right there. God bless you, chosen one. Your time is officially now.